Today, around 10:57 a.m., our officers were responding to a call of an active shooter at the Abundant Life Christian School here in Madison. Today is a sad, sad day, not only for Madison, but for our entire country.
You always see it on TV that it happens somewhere else.
You know, with what's been going on the last couple of years, that it was going to be a matter of time before this comes to Madison.
We know that at least 3 people have lost their lives, including a juvenile person. This is something that we all prepare for, but we hope we never have to do.
This is an incredibly sad day for our community. On behalf of the Common Council and the City of Madison staff, I want to offer our heartfelt condolences to the victims and families and to the whole Abundant Life community.
And welcome to News 3 Now at 10. We continue our coverage on today's tragic shooting at Abundant Life Christian School. At least 3 people are dead, including the shooter. Madison police have released a timeline of this morning. At 10:57, a second grader called 911 to report an active shooter.
I'm at the Unification Center talking to families and kids that went to the Christian school. I met with one second grader who was there during the shooting, and she tells me what she heard during the event.
I was getting ready for lunch, so it was basically lunchtime. And then I just heard sobbing, and there was a teacher named Mrs. Slater, and she was screaming like, "Ah, my leg, help, help."
Now we know that no kid should ever have to experience this at school. And what is in the question now is the recovery process. What is it going to take for these kids to recover from what they've experienced here in Madison today? But for now, reporting on Madison's east side, Meryl Hubbard, News 3 Now.
We also know that the shooter died in transport to the hospital, not on the scene, from what officials believe to be self-inflicted gunshot wounds. Of course, we have to wait for the medical examiner's office to make that determination, but that is what officials believe to be the cause of death at the moment. Now, Madison Police Chief Sean Barnes also detailing the 911 call made from the school this morning.
At 10:57 a.m., a second grade student called 911.
I am here on Madison's north side, right on Delaware Boulevard. The house right behind me around 8:30 this evening. Madison Police Chief Sean Barnes confirming that this is indeed the home of the shooter. Residents in the area tell me the home incident happened around 2 p.m. this evening. Police Chief Sean Barnes earlier saying that they interviewed individuals from the home that are a part of the family of the shooter, and at this moment they were not able to find a motive.
Madison in the national spotlight this morning after a deadly shooting at Abundant Life Christian School on the city's east side.
We have team coverage this morning. We start with Chris Stanford, who is live outside of the school. Chris, what can you tell us about what's going on out there?
Josh and Kyrie on Abundant Life Christian School, still very much an active crime scene this morning. There are several Madison police units, both inside and outside the school, and police tape surrounds the campus. Those shots yesterday were fired inside the school here at Abundant Life on the east side during study hall. A teacher and a student are dead, as well as the gunman. There are other victims as well. 4 of the 6 other victims are still in the hospital this morning. 2 of them are in critical condition.
There's a lot of reasons to shop today, but there's even more reasons to shop this weekend. It's going to be cold, but trust me, it's for an important cause. I'm here with Caleb Lawrence. You're the general manager of this location. So first of all, tell me about the fundraiser that's happening this Sunday for ALCS.
Yeah, so on Sunday for ALCS, all 9 of the chocolate shop locations here in Madison will be running a fundraiser.
UW-Platteville police have confirmed that there is an active situation on their campus.
Well, details very sketchy at this time, but police have confirmed authorities are evacuating some people from the scene, and they say the event is centered at a dorm on campus.
A couple different campus officials did go up to the podium to speak, including UW-Platteville Chief of Police Joe Hallman. But when asked questions about today's incident, really few, if any, details were given. And I want to go through a couple of the questions that were asked at the press conference that Hallman would not answer, citing an ongoing investigation. They included things like, what was the incident that occurred? Were there weapons involved? Was a campus weapons policy violated? How many people were injured? How serious were those those injuries? Were people transported to the hospital? Were there any deaths? And what can you tell us? Those were all questions asked. And I spoke with a couple students as the press conference wrapped up. They told me they really just hoped to hear more.
And I'm here live outside of Wilgis Hall, the dorm rooms where this isolated incident occurred earlier this afternoon. And I'm going to move out of the way here so you can take a look and see at those many windows that are left with lights on, but absolutely no one inside. They're somewhat eerie reminders of these students being told in a hurry to rush, pick up what they had to, and evacuate. Now, like the students that Maddie had spoken to, many did not know a lot about what was going on.
And as we mentioned earlier, there's been extensive damage reported in Dodge County.
Armand Rahman live in Mayville with a view of that damage at this hour. Armand?
That's right, Eric and Sarah. Right now, I'm on South Main Street in Mayville, where a lot of the damage, probably one of the hardest hit areas, is right here. It's very dark, obviously, because power is out. You cannot see much.
We've seen really differing levels of damage as we've made our way across Juneau these past couple of days, but some of the most aggressive damage landed right here at Schwant Family Farms. And the Schwant family tells me what we're looking at is really the loss of a lifetime.
We're just thankful that we're alive because we really should not have been alive. Trust me, it was so bad.
It's hard to talk, let's put it that way. This is a nightmare.
Sitting between a crushed silo, fallen power lines, and fragments of barn walls, Bob Schwant Jr. and Sr. say just 24 hours ago, this land was their entire lives.
That was our livelihood, but it got wiped out instantly. In the wink of an eye, everything was over.
Yep, it was gone in a heartbeat.
Bob Jr. tells me his wife went to the basement for shelter early in the evening. He would still be working outside when the storm came through.
When she heard everything going, she just figured she was stuck indoors. They were just so happy when I came in. And when I told them everything was leveled, they just broke down bawling.
An update to breaking news we brought you earlier today. Police say so far no injuries have been reported after an incident where shots were fired at Westtown Mall. Our Ellie Liberté is right outside where it happened live, and she joins us to tell us what happened. Ellie?
Yeah, Eric, police responded to the scene around 11:30 this morning.
Multiple fire departments are continuing to fight a fire at an apartment complex.
Deputy Chief, can you tell us what we know, how many people have been evacuated, and what's the scene like down here?
Well, the fire department received this alarm at a little bit after 2 o'clock.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Josh Breiter. An explosion rocked downtown Madison this morning.
They do, they do crank up the.
Good Lord.
What was that?
I think that was a
thunder, I think.
The scene here is certainly active. We were actually just a block up closer towards the location of the incident before police came just around 11 and restricted this block of Broome Street. We'll be on the scene all afternoon as it continues to develop, and we'll provide updates as soon as we get them on channel3000.com. For now, reporting live in downtown Madison, I'm Maddie Heimsch, News 3 Now.
Maddie, thank you. Be sure to stick with News 3 Now on channel3000.com as we continue to learn more about what happened.
Live from the Fiserv Forum in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, this is News 3 Now special coverage of the Republican National Convention.
And good evening. Thanks for joining us. We are coming to you live from Milwaukee. Day one of the Republican National Convention. I'm Eric Franke, joined by my longtime colleague, Charlotte DeLeste, joining us for the week. And Charlotte, this convention already making some headlines.
We've been seeing signs, hearing chants all day about a variety of issues. They range from women's reproductive rights to the economy, the war in Israel, racial justice, climate change, as well as just general dialogue about Trump and the Republican Party. I walked and talked with Omar Flores. He's the spokesperson of the coalition to march on the RNC. That coalition led thousands through the streets of Milwaukee today, right up to the Fiserv Forum. Flores, as well as the rest of the organizers, have been planning this route for 2 years now.
Once again, he did veer back into the Trump that several of us have seen before, spreading the false claims about his own accomplishments. There are several fact checkers online going through his speech right now.
So we're right in the middle of the action here amid the Wisconsin delegation, and we're here with RNC delegate and Fond du Lac DA Eric Toney. Thanks so much for joining us.
Absolutely, thanks for having me.
We're talking a little bit about this is your first convention, and it's kind of a history-making one where we just saw the assassination attempt against former President Donald Trump. He's touched a lot of that early in the speech. How impactful do you think that will be for Wisconsin voters?
Live from Chicago, this is News 3 Now's special coverage of the Democratic National Convention.
Right now, President Biden passing the torch to Vice President Kamala Harris for the 2024 presidential election. What he said on opening night of the Democratic National Convention.
Plus, multiple protesters are arrested in Chicago here at the convention. Why they say they're upset with Democrats. It's all ahead on News 3 Now at 10. Well, good evening once again from Chicago. We are live at the Nature Boardwalk here at the beautiful Lincoln Park Zoo for the Democratic National Convention. Night one of the event is now in the books, and it was a late one, but the Democrats certainly started it off with a bang.
I can tell you from the floor here, some of the biggest applause lines certainly were the imagery of hope when former First Lady Michelle Obama said hope is making a comeback. That was one of the largest applause lines that we've heard. Also heard themes of if you're upset, frustrated with the current state of politics, go out and do something. That's actually something that we heard from the Wisconsin delegation here while Democrats were rallying in Milwaukee for that Harris Walz event.
The headline for tonight is Democratic Vice Presidential nominee Governor Tim Walz taking the spotlight on the convention stage. There, Walz will formally accept the VP nomination.
That's right, and we have team coverage all across the convention area here in Chicago today. And right now we're going to start inside the United Center, and that's where Brady Mallory has more on Governor Tim Walz and his speech tonight. Brady?
Of course, when you send it to me, a big rock band starts playing. It's like I'm at a concert right now. Okay, it's quieted down now. There we go. It's getting started.
Election day is here, and this morning we're breaking down the important information to help you prepare.
We have team coverage this morning. Our Michelle Renee Quinn is live at the Dane County Municipal Building with last-minute reminders. But first, we start with Josh Breiter, who's live at the City County Building in Madison with where things stand right now in the race for the White House. Josh, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. Yeah, big day here. Your election day headquarters, of course, for the city of Madison and Dane County. We know Madison is one of the most liberal cities in the country, but Dane County as a whole is one of the most liberal counties across the U.S.
Madison and Dane County officials have yet to report any issues at the polls. Here at this precinct downtown, things are running pretty smoothly. They've had a pretty steady stream of voters since 7 o'clock this morning. They just crossed 500 voters. Dane County Clerk Scott McDonald said it's quite possible that we see a record turnout today.
Right now, the race for the White House starting to wind down in some states where both top presidential candidates are as the votes come in. Also awaiting results, how Wisconsin could shift the Senate's balance of power. You're watching News Right Now at 5. We do have some breaking news at this hour out of Milwaukee. 30,000 ballots will need to be recounted that had already been counted. Officials say there was an issue with a counting tabulator not being properly sealed. Out of precaution, the city will recount each ballot. This will increase an already long count for Milwaukee County. And tonight, the long campaign for the White House does come to an end, the campaign part. A seat to represent Wisconsin in the United States Senate is also up for grabs today. Democratic incumbent Senator Tammy Baldwin going head-to-head against Republican challenger Eric Hovde. And we have our team of reporters in studio as well, and also many of them out of the field to give you the latest throughout the show as Election Day winds down.
I want to point out this area of the state. This is going to be where to watch tonight in that Baldwin Senate race. It's western Wisconsin. So you can see that blue coverage. That is much better than we usually see Democrats do in western Wisconsin. If we compare that to, for example, another Democrat on that ballot is Governor Tony Evers.
Things are continuing here with setup with the Hovde campaign here. They tell me that they'll start letting in guests in a couple of hours here. But let's talk about the road to tonight. Democrats, of course, have been attacking the ground game this election season. Incumbent Senator Tammy Baldwin appearing at multiple Harris Walz rallies and events across the campaign.
Welcome to our special 3 for the People coverage of the 2024 presidential election. I'm Chris Stanford.
And I'm Kyrie Lee. Thanks for waking up with us this morning.
We're taking a live look at the White House this morning. It is set to be once again the home of Donald Trump, the former president, claiming the highest office in the land, reclaiming it.
We are taking a look at those numbers and just how Trump fared in Wisconsin. He won Wisconsin 49.8% of the vote compared to Vice President Kamala Harris's 48.8%.
Inspection records show over 1,200 grocery items were overpriced and underweight, most by over $1 a piece. They were all at Roundy's store. 17 are in the News 3 Now viewing area, including Sun Prairie, Middleton, and several in Madison. It's a case of customers not getting what they paid for. At this Metro Market on University Avenue, inspection records show customers were overcharged for store-packed salads, meals, and pre-cut fruit. Sandwiches were marked up over 20%.
I started to go to Metro Market because I thought their prices were less than other places around. And to hear that, it's disappointing and it's a little frustrating.
The University Avenue location is one of 62 stores statewide where items were overpriced. The state sent Roundy's more than 60 warning letters over 5 years and then sent out a team of inspectors.
We were not pleased with the results.
The Department of Ag, Trade, and Consumer Protection led the investigation. This isn't just one or two scales in a couple of stores. How does it happen where there's that many discrepancies in that many stores?
Part of it could be their understanding of the law as it relates to compliance. Some of it could be training, new employees, turnover.
But you've warned them over and over about this.
And that would be a question for them to fully understand that piece of that compliance, that accountability aspect.
We went to Roundy's headquarters in Milwaukee to get answers. We're not allowed up to the office?
No, you're not. Not unless you have an appointment with somebody, and then unfortunately you don't.
Well, how am I supposed to make an appointment when they're not returning my calls or emails?
Don't know what to tell you.
We couldn't get past the lobby. We'll meet you anywhere to talk about this story. We're just trying to get some answers for our viewers.
For its part, Ridgeland Farms says they remain mostly private and refrains from speaking directly to the media. I tried for several months to get a representative from Ridgeland to speak about the allegations of abuse. But it wasn't until we publicized the airing of this report that their attorney got back to me saying they have lawfully operated for decades. They say in a statement that the company has been breeding dogs to help research and develop new and better veterinary products that benefit your pet dogs.
Ask residents at the Harmony Apartments why they moved in, and you'll usually get a similar response.
It was a place to stay. It wasn't really what I wanted, but it was like last minute.
The complex was built in 2019. At the ribbon cutting, developers boasted alongside politicians and local leaders the Harmony would live up to its name, provide tenants with services and support. But ask those who actually lived there.
They want to come in here and tell these people lies, sell them dreams, give them false hope.
Since it first opened a little over 5 years ago, the Harmony Apartments has been the subject of 43 complaints to the city's building inspector. In one report, an inspector writes that management, quote, tends to make excuses more than producing results.
In less than 2 hours, it will be time for the very first pick.
Oh, we're ready. We have team coverage of the draft with crews stationed in all around Green Bay. We'll start out with Eric Franke and our Packers expert, Jason Wilde. Hey, guys.
Hey, Brady, Susan, good evening. It's getting a little chilly in the air here, but the energy's up. It's up. We had a couple people from Madison said they left Madison. It was like 70. It's chilly here, but the energy's good.
I'm just hanging out. I'm just hanging out with some of my friends. I should say like thousands and thousands of friends. They said that they expected 250,000 people to come. I can tell you we're close to that, and they're just coming in as droves. This area is the fan experience. It opened up around noon. We were here when no one was there. At noon, the doors opened, and they just started running.
The countdown to kickoff is officially on. Welcome to this Channel 3000 Plus Packers schedule release special. I'm Sports Director Zach Hanley, joined by our Packers insider Jason Wilde. Jason, when you look at this, tied for the 5th most difficult schedule based on win percentage from last year. They're going to face 7 playoff teams, and they got that early bye in Week 5. What are your initial thoughts when you see the schedule?
Yeah, Zach, my first thought is the schedule makers didn't do them any favors.
It's the final push for the News 3 Now Back to School drive.
We're partnering with the Boys and Girls Club of Dane County to stuff the bus, filling the school bus with donated school supplies. Our Brady Mallory was at Metcalf's at Hilldale, had a final update.
Well, here's something I haven't done in a while. I have my backpack, I am getting off the bus. It's really giving me flashbacks to my own school days. I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to look forward to show you how you can help kids in our community have the best school year ever this upcoming year. And we've been doing that with our Stuff the Bus campaign with the Boys and Girls Club of Dane County.
We have a little something for you this morning. If our Michelle Renee Quinn can walk something out to us on the couch at this time. You know, we've had 2 weeks of votes, and our News 3 Now viewers spoke big, and with a record amount of votes, we have something that we want to give you.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
Congratulations, Megan.
You did it.
You did it.
Oh my gosh.
You seem shocked.
I am shocked.
Well, we've been promising to share with you the final tally in our Coats for Kids campaign. And here it is, everyone, 4,072.
Hey, all right.
We want to thank everyone for donating, whether you made a physical donation or a financial one or bought from our Amazon wish list. But we especially want to thank Colony Brands for donating over 1,000 coats. And next year will be our 40th Coats for Kids drive, and we're looking forward to it.
Our Day of Warmth telethon continues until 6:30, so we have time. Tonight, Brady Mallory joins us with more on how you can help. Hi, Brady.
Hey there. You know, I'm thinking about a song that I liked from several years ago, and the lyrics ask you, what have you done today to make yourself feel proud? Well, if you are still wanting to do something, all you have to do is pick up the phone and give us a call. Our operators have been so busy, and we want to thank you for your generosity, helping your neighbors who need a little extra help with their heating and cooling bills. I'm back with my pal Noel, and we've raised more than how much?
22,000.
Wow. How big of a deal is that?
It is a big deal.
When you lose someone you love, you'll spend the rest of your life searching for that person. Sometimes they still unexpectedly show up, and one local author knows this for sure.
Our Brady Mallory shows you the book and a local woman's personal story about what happens whenever she sees a cardinal.
I've gotten really good at spotting them.
Sometimes in the wilderness, in the lush, never-ending trees of green,
It's right here.
a spark of red catches Elizabeth Newberry's eye.
I often refer to the cardinal as like my lucky penny.
Newberry says the value of spotting a cardinal is priceless. That's why she's written a children's book called When You See a Cardinal. The little red bird represents a loved one who is no longer here. It's a very personal story for Newberry.
When my father passed away, it just became something that I looked forward to seeing unexpectedly every now and then, especially when I was missing him. And it felt like a super simple way to connect with him.
Now, Brady would like to share a personal note with you all. He says this: I want to thank Elizabeth Newberry for sharing her story. When we set up the interview, I had no idea it would soon be my story. I finished writing this piece last Friday, and shortly after, I got a life-changing phone call. My beautiful mom, Gloria, died the next day on June 8th. She had lived with metastatic breast cancer and was doing remarkably well. However, an infection put her in the hospital. We saw progress and were hopeful she'd get to go home, but it wasn't to be. She died surrounded by my dad, 2 sisters, and me. I held her hand until the end. The other day, I swear I saw a cardinal in the distance, and as I whispered "Mom" to myself, the cardinal hopped and chirped.
Photojournalist Christopher Hawbacker brings us the sights and sounds of the Madison Institution in this edition of Morning Notes.
Near the Latin Jazz Band. We've been together since, well, this group has been together since 1998. So do the math, 26 years.
We had so much fun this year on News 3 Now this morning. We broke everything down into 2 days of look-backs. Yesterday, we featured some of our foodie moments of 2024. Now here's a look at some of the other fun we've had.
Point, me, hop back, step, step, step. Point, me, hop back, step, step, step. Me, hop back, step, step, step.
That was me, not the horse, guys, in case you were wondering. This is the Nightmares' new mascot for their brand new season. They're trusting me with the line this morning.
On State Street, we will have cars starting at the 100 block going all the way down to the 600 block.
One of our new donations we got is this 1927 Chevrolet built at the plant. Jack Prejean bought this car in high school. He donated it for the museum, and it'll be part of the collection.
Up and over I go.
Up and over, yep.
Ooh, it is tight.
It's very tight, yep. The wheel goes on.
Wheel.
Yep, just clip it on.
Oh, look at that.
Up and down, ready, set, roll. Up and down, up and down, up and down. That was a good one, good. 2.5 seconds, but again, some more direction changes.
Oh my gosh, that's so much fun.
Yes.
It takes less than 30 minutes to learn. Everybody has fun.
Let's see some backhand dinks, Josh.
Oh, backhand. Oh boy, you're asking a lot now.
Oh, there you go. Sorry.
Once they start realizing that they get their milk from the bottle, that's it.
That's it. That's so funny. Thank you so much. Boy, these are good TV makers right here.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's always wonderful here in Pheasant Branch. The eagles have raised a new eaglet, and the deer are playing out there.
This is all about, getting out and getting into nature. You look at this backdrop behind us. Madison is so special in so many different ways. This is what it's all about, right? We're in spooky season. We're trying to help you with a little bit of that inspiration. And of course, you can't have Mario without Luigi!
So we did do pirates, and I went big. Oh, kids love it. The parents love it, kids love it. We have people who come from all over the place.
But it leads to a watery tube.
Oh, hello. That is the biggest piece of corn I've ever seen.
Well, it's not as tasty as what will be here this weekend, but, it's a good stock.
And we're live in Greene County this morning with why you should swing on down to the Judah Bash. We are having a ball on Breeze Stevens Field, learning what's happening with Ford Madison. Sometimes I'm just trying to make a point here in the 608. So.
No! Someone cut him off.
We're cutting it off.
Live.
The man of puns. The master of puns.
Shout out to photojournalist Mark Schilling. He always amazes me, seriously. He's over in the corner over there just, saying, no, not me.
Come on.
I could not do it without him every single day.
Takes a team.
It takes a team, and we try to make good TV.